me start. Welcome back, y'all. I don't know why I decided to open up with that, but I had to get a little pumping. Whew. Welcome back, all you cucks and bucks. We're here for another episode of Ruminations. I'm your host, Marcus Astley, and I'll be your underqualified philosophical psychiatrist. That's my job title. I almost forgot it though, just a little bit. Underqualified philosophical psychiatrist, and I hope you'll be mine on this. Fuck it out. We're gonna get this down pat one day. Not today, but one day. I'll be your underqualified philosophical psychiatrist, and I hope you'll be mine on this journey where we allow all our thoughts to be laid bare and picked apart until they reach their natural conclusions. That being said, sit back and grab your favorite controlled substance. Mine today is Zen. Nicotine. Not nicotine. Nicotine. And let's ruminate. That was a bad intro. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of shit's been going on in the world, man. A lot of stuff's been going on. We got a lot to talk about. I feel like I got a lot on my mind, but I'm gonna try to stick to the notes that I have and center our conversations to try to be as constructive as possible. And I think a good, constructive conversation to have right now is obviously, let me just put this out here. If you're not an American and you're watching this podcast and you have no investment in America, you're living here temporarily, you're gonna leave soon, whatever it may be, if you just don't care about America, go ahead and turn the podcast off. My first little ramble is about to be about the country, honestly. And I don't want this to be like a super political thing. I want this to literally just be how I'm feeling about stuff right now. What's been on my mind. What I want to be better at as an American. I think there's a lot of room for improvement in America, in the world. But obviously, I'm speaking about America because I'm speaking about the country that I live in, that I'm from. The only real note I have here is this internal and external pessimism. What does that mean to me? With that, I didn't check my hair or nothing. Hold on, before I get there's no mirror, but I'm gonna act like I'm looking into your eyes. Anyways, basically what I meant when I put that was like right now in the country, I think my generation is going through like, I don't know what to call it. I don't know what it could be equated to, because I don't want to equate it to things like World War II or the Great Depression. Like, the things we're dealing with, the way our lives have had to shift is in no shape or form as drastic as other events in American history. But they are different. They are changing, and I think our mindset about it is everything. Because a lot of the conversations, and although there's a lot of things wrong with America, there's a lot of institutional problems that I think we need to find better ways to address and fix. I think there's governmental problems, and I guess and I should address, when I say institutional, I don't mean like government institutions. I literally just mean like corporations. But that's a whole separate conversation for another day. But also there's governmental problems, and then I think there's a lot of social problems, and I think we put too much importance on things that we can easily just like divulge on. I don't know if that's a word. Just throw up on. Like, it's easy to point all the blame of what's going on in the country right now onto Trump or Elon, because Elon with Doge and government cuts and stuff like that, or with Trump and the tariffs. That's kind of how they've been categorized. Like that's how they've been talked about. But I think it's just a lack of awareness on how our system actually works. I don't think as an entire country, and this might be a joke. Maybe I'm missing out on the joke, but the fact that people seriously, maybe because I'm in school too, so maybe I'm a bit more tied to these terms. But the fact that there's actual adults that are saying they don't know what a tariff is until now worries me. I hope it's a joke. I really do hope that we're joking because it's a funny joke, haha. But grown people not knowing what a tariff is not a good sign, and I think that is a showing sign of we don't actually know how our institutions work. I think a lot of people know how bills become laws, but I think we're not paying attention to, for example, like more local elections, governor, mayor, house, senator. I don't think we're paying enough attention to these smaller gears in the system that is America, and we're putting all the blame onto just one person just because it's easier. Although I think a lot of things are Trump's fault. Like, I'm not trying to be this man's to give him a scapegoat, but I think we have to also look at who's supporting him, who's not speaking out against him, who's not talking about the dumb shit that he's doing. I think that's people to I think that's positions to pay attention to, and then be like, how can I affect these positions? I think in recent years we've kind of been very upset with the choices on presidency that we have, and because of that, we've put that onto the Electoral College and saying that the Electoral College needs to be revamped, it needs to be changed. I don't know if it does. I haven't even really looked into too much about, how we got to the Electoral College over like popular vote. But there's smaller political positions in the country that affect the larger ones that I think we need to pay attention to a lot more. And actually, one of the things I wanted, let me pull up some other stuff here. If you're in Georgia, I'm specifically speaking to my state because I have love for my state more than I have love for the country. I love the country, love America, but I have a personal connection with the state. I was born in Georgia. I've lived in Georgia my whole life. The culture of just what we're able to create, if it's food, art, or food, music, comedy, whatever it is, it's just, I love what I've been able to have here. Simply because I was born here. This is just where I happen to be born. Crawford Long, now known as Emory. But because of that, I want to make it the best home I possibly can. But so speaking specifically for Georgia, elections for governor are November 3rd, 2026. Why am I telling this? So y'all can start to look at who's going to be running. They don't just start, I know Biden dropped out of the election. It was real impromptu that Kamala was up because we were saying since the primary that we should have put up another candidate. The Democrats I'm talking about, I don't know why I'm saying me. I don't affiliate with either party. It's actually something I do think we need to go away with is a two-party system. I don't think corporations, institutions, should have more political power by being able to persuade one side or the other. I think we just, I think both parties just hold too much power. Just simple as that. If we can't fix the corpse, let's fix the system. We have two parties. You just need to buy one to win 50%. I don't like that. I think if we have a system where we have 10 parties, we have other parties. That's the thing. We have other political parties, but actually, I think it's, it's the funding that actually gets you on the ballot. We only acknowledge Democrat, Republican, and then every other party basically has to get funding through citizens, through petition signings to get onto the ballot. As far as I understand it, and I hope everything that I say today, y'all have more input. You can comment, message me all about this stuff, about things you want to talk about, or things that I got wrong today. That's fine too. But I think we have a system where we acknowledge like 10 parties. And now all these parties have such a small faction that not one can overtake the other one, and y'all have to collaborate with other parties that have similar interests. And now we're not, because I don't know if it would, but I feel like that would stop the polarization. Because you have right and you got left. It's just saying we got 10 different, parties now. It's more of a wheel. It's more of a spectrum. Gay people were onto it when they said sexuality was a spectrum. Everything's a spectrum, if you really think about it. Morality, sliding scale, spectrum, sexuality, spectrum. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think two-party system is outdated. I think I'm a strong advocate for getting it up out of here. And my nose is sweating again, and I didn't even take my Zyn, actually. But yeah, pay attention, Georgians, to who's running for governor within the next year. I'm not going to do too much research for y'all. Senate is also the same time. Pay attention to who's running. Because let me actually... let me just fact check this real quick. How does the electoral college work? Each state gets a certain number of electors based on its representation. Jesus. See? We need to bring back the Board of Education. I can't even read. Based on its representation in Congress, there are a total of 538 electors selected according to each state's policy. Each elector casts one vote, showing the general election, and the candidate who gets more than half, 270, wins. You can vote for your congressman, right? I'm just saying, I know president elections are important, sure. But if we don't work off of popularity, we work off the electoral college. Your odds are much better of getting the president that you want if your representative is representing your ideals. If you're not voting and paying attention to who your Congress... And I'm not putting any judgment. I'm just getting these thoughts out of my brain because I've realized I haven't done my due diligence of, staying up to date for local things. Granted, when I turned 18 and was able to actually vote, my birthday's in December, so the election had already passed. And then I also messed up because I'm currently live in a different county than where I'm registered in. Not telling y'all where, but yeah. So that's, again, I'm not saying this to put blame on anyone, shame anybody. I'm just trying to be like, hey, I've realized I fucked up in these ways. I think a lot of people are messing up in these ways too. Let's not mess up together. Let's try to fix everything. What was the last? There was two other things I wanted to look at real quick. Oh yeah, in the mail, I literally got this about it. Because again, I gotta hide it because it's showing what county I'm in. But you get these in the mail. If you don't get these in the mail, you can look them up. I literally have it on my computer, but it tells me the elections and all the dates. You had County Commission District 2 and 4 for the county that I'm in on February 11th. And then you had the runoff on March 11th. You have Public Service Commission and General Primary June 17th. You have General Election, Municipal Election November 4th, and you have General Runoff, Municipal Runoff December 2nd. So, whatever county you live in, look up your election dates, look at who's running, look at their policies, pay attention to that. I think we need to move back to being more community focused. I think for whatever reason, maybe it's because social media and the internet and we feel more connected to people on the West Coast, but the reality is you are much more connected to people you live around because you live around them. I know that might sound stupid, but think about it. Even if I have the same ideals as somebody over in LA, they got a good transit system. In Atlanta, we got the MARTA, which is a good transit system if you are downtown Atlanta and you need to get either north and south and east and west. If you need to get northeast, southwest, you're kind of screwed. So if I really want to fix issues within my own community. It's like, all right, what political office most directly affects public transit? I believe it would be governor. All right, who's running? I know currently it's county, but when the elections come around, it's like, all right, who's running? What's his policies? What's his stance? Can we talk to him and get him? Hey, we want to upgrade the transit system. We want push on getting it. I'm not saying this is an actual issue for me. I'm just saying hypothetically. You're closer to the people around you, even if at a ideal level y'all are somewhat separate. I hope that makes sense. Last two things I want to touch on real quick is this. What I think we need to have more on as a country is patriotism. Because I think for a lot of our country's history, we've had a lot of nationalism. Now, what's the difference, Marcus? I got you. Nationalism, identification with one's own nation and support for its interests, especially to the exclusion or detriment of the interests of other nations. Now, here's the thing. Nationalism is only inherently wrong because we have morality. I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying, oh, nationalism is, but I'm saying put yourself in the mind frame of when our country was built 400 plus years ago. Or, we're rounding 400 years, whatever. Certain things were just luxuries. Certain emotional and mental conversations, mental health just in general, they're luxuries to even think about back then. Right? So, although, yes, the history of our country might have been built on nationalism, which we can say is wrong, we should not, I think, we should not, what am I trying to say? We shouldn't, our current image of the country should not reflect what the old morality was. We have a new moral system. We just do. We don't like slavery, right? We want to be more inclusive so people just feel safe, whether it's women, gay people, in America, just people who aren't from America, just people migrating here, like my family. So I think it's an important thing to recognize that, hey, it's okay to have pride for your country, but are we pushing down people to do that? Because that's really the main difference. I'll read the definition for patriotism. By the way, if you don't agree with this, take it up with Oxford, okay? Patriotism, the quality of being patriotic, devotion to, and vigorous support for one's country. There's nothing wrong with that. Nationalism is bad because now you can get indoctrinated into shitty situations. You unfortunately get coerced to go fight in wars that we learn later down the line we don't need to be fighting it. And now we're more conscious of when we get into wars as a people. I'm not saying the government. The government is still, we still got the military industrial complex. We're not trying to bug out a war anytime soon. But as a people, we're much more conscious of when we're in wars. I feel like more than ever. And so I think we just need to have an acknowledgement of, hey, how are we patriotic? And how do we remain to have this identity of being an American without ostracizing people, but without also shaming people for what came before? No one alive, and I'm saying, no one in my generation, let me say that, no one alive, no one in my generation has had any input on all the heinous things that have happened in American history. The best we can do is acknowledge it. And then past that, we have to figure out how we're not going to do that again. I don't like conversations where we're constantly talking about white guilt and berating people for certain things that they have no control over. It's not your fault you're born white. It's not my fault I'm born black. It's not your fault you're born in this side of the country, that side, whatever. We have to I think we need to get to a point where we have patriotism fully, and it's not with this hint of nationalism, because I think that's kind of more Trump's ideology. I like America first, but I don't like putting everybody else down. I don't like that. Yeah, this was a nice little rainbow. I'm glad I got that off my chest. Hopefully this sparks some conversations, constructive conversations at that. Oh, the one last thing I want to talk about. I'm probably gonna cut this because I want to come off screen for a second. I'm back. Okay. The Zen's kicking in right now. I also took edible earlier, so that's simmering in my body too. But I actually bought a copy of the U.S. Constitution, explained clause by clause for every American today, annotated by Ray Raphael. I hope that's how you pronounce your last name. Thank you so much for making this, by the way. This is actually funny because, ironically enough, I was talking to my roommate about this actually earlier. I was like, do kids still learn how to like read books? And what I mean by that is like, do they still go through like learning how to navigate the index and the table of contents and like, I don't know if that's a thing they still do in school. But this was actually, the copyright is 2016, which was Trump's first time in office. So it's kind of funny. I feel like I felt compelled to buy it now with all the unconstitutional things Trump and Elon have been doing. That this was actually printed during his first term. But it actually says something very interesting here, and I hope I can find it quick enough. But it puts something in perspective for me very interesting about the three-branch government. I wish I wrote it down. The framers wanted it to be robust yet not tyrannical. To balance strength and restraint, they created three distinct branches that would constrain one another. Separation of power. I read that wrong. To balance strength and restraint, they created the three distinct branches that could constrain one another. Separation of powers and checks and balances are often said to limit federal power, but in fact, they serve the opposite purpose. By distributing authority to different components within the federal government, the framers gave that government greater powers than it dared grant to a single body. This is a perspective I've never had before, that actually the three-branch government is to its own detriment. That instead of, we can't say that we want to give the president and his cabinet all these powers, so we're going to break it up into three different things, but the government itself still holds the power. It's like instead of giving one person a trident so he's able to stab three people, it's like you gave three people one knife. You could still get stabbed 3 times. You realize that, right? Like that doesn't like help your odds in a fight that much. If I'm trying to, dodge one thing that can stab me and someone else, but now I just got to deal with 3 different things that can all stab me. It's like, oh, well, okay. This is kind of a worse situation. I think that's interesting because I think this is what I think. I think more than likely, the government in the next 10 years probably is going to see a very drastic change. I believe we're going to have a regime change. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a scary thing. Well, it is kind of scary. It's not a bad thing. All that means is that the framework of the government we have now will just be different. It will operate different. Been seeing a lot of talks about moving more to a parliament system, which coincides with what I was saying with having more than 2 parties. I need to look into exactly how a parliament system works so I can speak more onto that because I don't know too much about it. But it's just interesting. I never got the idea that the 3-branch is actually bad because you're giving the federal government more power than you would give it if it was just one singular branch. If it was just one unit, you wouldn't give it this much power. So, and maybe that speaks to we need to go back to a way to maybe have more state power. I'm not educated on how the system works. We need to have conversations on how the whole system works, how states affect federal law. We need to talk about that because I don't entirely know um, the intricacies to that. But I definitely think it's good talks to have. But yeah, I literally just read the introduction at the preamble of the Constitution. I think everybody should own this. Every American should own a copy of the U.S. Constitution. And yeah, that's all. I think that's all. Yeah. Last thing, investing in small businesses. And I know we say this a lot, but here's the thing: the whole like blackouts and boycotting. They're gonna slash a little money from Target, Walmart, and these big courts. They're not gonna hurt them that much. I think the more important thing is just stimulating money in a different pool. Like I think if we just stimulate money in the pool of mom and pop businesses and local businesses, I think again at the local level, in your community, in your city, in your county, wherever, I think it'll be easier to enact change there. That's just my theory. I don't know. I've only lived 22 years. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I have no clue. But I refuse to be one of the people who say, well, the system's rigged, so I'm just not going to participate in it. I mean, that's your right. But if I got to take dick, I'm not going to take it lying down. That's just me. If you feel like the government is fucking you, if you feel like the system is still has components of fraudulent practices, which it does. I think lying down and just taking it is much worse than being like, I'm gonna learn and do something about this. Because again, I care about my state. I care about it for no other reason that I was born here. You can call me sentimental, you can call me whatever it is. On a happier note, summer's coming around. This semester's almost over. I got summer classes around the corner. Hopefully, try to make all A's in those classes. But some other things that I want to acknowledge is definitely want to hit more comedy clubs. I've realized that there's a distinct difference in open mics just out in the city, open mics at bars and clubs, and then open mics at comedy clubs. And I haven't really done mics at comedy clubs yet. I do have one today at Uptown. I'm filming this April 24th, so I do have a mic at Uptown Comedy. But I've realized there is a distinct difference on like the audience and the format and the pressure that is on you to perform, and the way you got to know your jokes. Might be a little different. So I need to experience that a lot more. So that's something in the summer that I want to be more on. Poetry. I actually have started to write a poem. Not giving any hints or anything to what it's about. But I've just been inspired by a lot of people around me. Sean Speaks, my friend Naomi. I am going to forget your name. I believe it's Justin Patterson. My phone's recording. I don't know why I tried to reach for my phone there. But yeah, just got me inspired to write a poem. So I definitely going to go out to more poetry mics and hopefully perform soon. So that's one thing. One thing I need to be on more, my physical fitness. I stretch still. I work out about twice a week, but that's bad. That's bad. Really should be 3 to 4. And I just supplement cardio. I don't like running. I hate running. But I'll jump rope. I'll go to the gym. Hop on the bike, ellipticals. I'll play tennis, paddleball with friends. I'll go skating. Anything you could do to get out of the house, get sweating is good. I believe. But yes, definitely need to do that more. Soon the weather is getting a lot warmer. It's been a little droopy. It rained earlier, but yeah. And then just searching more financial opportunities. I did get a raise at my job. Woo, 20 an hour. But going to job fairs is something that I haven't done at the school that I'm enrolled in. So I definitely want to do that more, job fairs. And with the Amway stuff, I've been very lackadaisical, I feel like. Obviously, I've been promoting it on the show, on the podcast. I've been talking to people, trying to sell it. I feel like I just haven't done enough of a job really putting myself out there like, hey, I'm representing this brand that I believe is good for you, I believe has the best interest of the planet. Because a lot of their packaging is also like completely biodegradable, recyclable. It can be recycled. Anyways, so yeah, all those things are stuff I really want to focus on this summer, and I want y'all to focus on the summer too. Search for more job opportunities, or figure out more ways to make money. Money is not happiness, but money is like water. You need it to live, unfortunately. I wouldn't drink water if I didn't have to drink it, but our bodies are made of it, so I gotta drink water. This computer, my cellular plan, this house, it's all paid for with the resource that we refer to as money. So you can have too much of it. I won't say you can have too much if you don't got good morals. If you don't got good values, integrity, you can have too much money because you can get into some trouble. But it's a resource at the end of the day. So yeah, that's all. Again, and I'll probably post more about this, like things I want to be more tapped into, networking, stuff like that. I'll definitely make posts about in the future. But that's kind of where I'm standing. That's kind of like the main focal points is comedy clubs, getting into poetry, and staying on top of my physical fitness, and then making more money. That's basically it. So I'm gonna take a little break, relinquish my bowels a little bit. I haven't farted yet. I'll get one in before we end the pod. I'll get one nasty one in. Okay, and then we stop. But yeah, we'll take a break here and turn over to business. I want to say business Brown, business Ashley, and he'll talk to you about Amway. So I'll see y'all in just a second. All right, real quick, guys. I just want to take a second to talk about Amway, which is the online shopping platform that I'm currently in business with. I have a partnership with them, so I'm allowed to sell all their products straight from their warehouses. And right now, my featured product of the month, because I'm trying to help y'all. Y'all need to help me help y'all. I'm trying to get y'all some money. I'm trying to save y'all some money, right? I'm trying to get y'all good quality products that are good for your body and for the environment. And one of those products that we have right here are the laundry detergent and the softener. Now, if you sign up as a VIP customer, if you follow the link, and then right below my very beautiful face, there's an email icon. You press on that, you can send me an email, and we can get you signed up to be a VIP customer, because there's certain discounts and certain deals that I can extend to you if you are a VIP customer, which is completely free, by the way. So that's the incentive. It's free, but we do have the laundry detergent. This is the liter jug. This will get you about 130 loads, and depending on the size of the loads, you can really stretch it even there. That's $50. And if you sign up as a VIP customer, I can throw in the softener for free. Again, I'm trying to help y'all. Not only I'm giving y'all deals for free, right? But I'm also giving you more products. Help me help you, But that email that you send, just title it future customers and then your name. And we can get you set up with that. If there's other products, if you're, if you work out, you want some protein, energy drinks, just daily vitamins. We also offer those. There's plenty of sports nutrition and daily supplements that we offer, and we can plan a time, to talk and figure out what packages we can cater towards you. Again, I'm your sales representative in Atlanta. So yeah, just press the link in the description, and let's get you started on, a better life. Let's get back to the pod. We're back. All right. So, what do we have on the agenda? All right. You know what it is, people. When we pull out the Falcons hat, you know what time it is. My dreads are fucking. Oh, that's a bit more better. All right. You know what it is. We got the GOATs behind us. It is so sad, actually, when I sit and think about it. I'm like, damn, if Julio Jones had stayed with Philly one more season, one more year, he would have gotten a ring. Even if it wasn't the Falcons, I just would have liked to see Julio Jones with a ring. It's freaking depressing that he didn't get one throughout his whole career. He had like 6 seasons in a row. He had over 1,000 yards. With the highest, I think it was like 1,800 one season. I want to say that was the 2015 or 14 season, I want to say. But, wow. I'm glad I grew up watching that guy. I'm glad I grew up watching him. There's great players now, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. But when I think about elite receivers, like Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, like that's the forefront of my brain. What was that one? Devontae Adams. On my mind constantly. Some great football players. But I actually want to talk about with film room with Coach A. I did invest and get this little body cam for when I get pulled over by the police. No, I'm kidding. So I actually got this on sale, and it is a 1080p body cam. I'm burping a lot. The gas is coming out the wrong way. I wanted to come out my butt, so it could be gross, but it's just coming out this end. But I have been using this. I do have a couple clips that I do want to look at. I want to look at one bad clip and one good clip, but I've been using this because I saw it on Instagram and I was like, man, I haven't seen any footage of comedians posting from their perspective, like what I'm seeing in the crowd. And one part of my game that I am very, very weak in, there's 2 parts, which is punchlines, crowd work. It's 2 parts of my game that I really need work on. And I'm hoping this can help with at least the crowd work, where I'm prompted to want to get more engagement, because now you're seeing what I'm seeing. You're seeing the faces. You're seeing the people laugh. You're seeing just how I'm trying to, you're seeing what I'm trying to be aware of in the audience. So I do want to look at some clips there. Let me get the screen recording on. I didn't screen record last episode, and that was a drastic mistake because I had to go back and edit the raw clips into just the footage of me talking. So yeah, we're gonna do a better job at that. Let me put this up here. Yeah. All right, so let me find the clip. I want to do one clip from Joystick, and then I want to do another clip that is from Limerick's Junction, and I'll talk more about each place when we get into it. Okay, this is the back end of that clip. All right, here we go.
Before I read this name, if you know your neck, just get the fuck on stage. I recognize 2 letters. It's an A, it's M and A.
Okay, let's get into this. 1, my name, my handwriting is not that bad. So sorry, I'm forgetting your name. That was the host. It's usually Zane is the host at Joystick. I forgot his name. I've seen him at 529. Very funny dude. But my handwriting is not that bad. Ferg will tell you it's bad, but he's gotten used to reading it. So
give it up for Mavino A. Dezane. All right, that's another name.
What?
Mariamo A. Ozomo. Guys, if I don't know this name, it's handwriting. Come look at the list.
Where we at? Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Where we at? Are we at 9?
Yeah.
My handwriting is not that bad.
Bro.
Oh my
All right,
God.
give it up for this guy, everybody.
You couldn't even read your own name.
Y'all, look, y'all can just call me Booty Dust, alright? Y'all can just, because that's a nickname that stuck somewhere, y'all can just go ahead and go with that, right? Look, I write like
So I should explain also the way this works. So the way it works is the camera is actually magnetic, and it sticks to this pendant that I wear. And I have it a bit lower now. I have it, the second clip you'll see much better. I have it actually like basically my stomach. When I was trying it, this is probably like the first time I think I wore it, I was having it like more up here so I could get more of a POV. And I didn't realize my hand is completely in the way. So there's not much entertaining to look at, but I do want to just review the jokes and, you know, start to get this type of content out there.
doctor that's writing you prescription for some chlamydia pills, you know what I'm saying? Antibiotics. If you ever caught anything, you know, they like to write it real crazy. That's how I write. Did you grow up like writing cursive? Or my cursive is that bad?
That's not cursive.
That's I swear to God, that's cursive. Stop it.
They're connected. The letters are certainly.
It's gonna get me tight. It's gonna get me tight up in here. All right, let me get in my jokes. All right, moving on from that. Thought piece. I was sitting on my couch and my hair's never been this long. Y'all not here. Y'all might relate to what I'm about to say, but
Okay, I thought that would be funny. I should have pointed out that the people were bald. That I was saying y'all won't get it, which also you can't see, but
my hair's never been this long, and I didn't realize it until I was sitting on the couch, and like it's past my shoulders, so it was kind of between my back and the couch, and I had to reach for the remote, but I like try to move my neck before I move my whole body, and it pulled on my hair, and I thought it hurt, and then my second thought was, is this how kinks get developed? Like, are they like accidental or are they purposeful? Because if I do this 6 more times, I'm gonna like it. Like, I don't know. This shit kind of exciting. Gabe riffed on me saying I sound like someone who doesn't like consent earlier, which is true, just when it's against me. Because my therapist, she calls it a sexual assault. I like to call it the best hand job I ever got, because it got me. Like, I have never gotten myself in under 5 minutes, but she did. So, I don't know if we can call that an assault.
I don't remember exactly what, there was a comedian named Gabe earlier. I don't remember what he said, but he said something about, like, he was making jokes about sex, and then he, like, got engagement. So I was like, woo, and he was like, that guy sounds like he doesn't like consent. And then I was like, what? I was like, whoa. But I was like, fuck it, I'll use that to open up a bit.
For a guy, though, like, for a guy, it only works one way. For girls, it doesn't, like, because she reached into my pants and was like, if you didn't want this, why are you hard right now? How the fuck am I supposed to argue that? Oh, I'm not gay. Like, how am I supposed to argue that? I can't. I just, you know, gotta take the hand job. And I was thinking about this, actually. I think I need a big girl. Because my friend was putting it in perspective. He told me, he said, the bigger the woman, the more surface area of love. And I think that's just his way of saying I should try again.
I realized I didn't finish that thought at all. The thought should have been, my friend was telling me, he says, bigger girls have more surface area of love to give to you. That's the part I left out, to give to you. Is what I should have added to that end part.
Tit job, I don't know, because I fuck with real skinny bitches. It's hard to, I can't put my shits together. If I put my shits together, you're just gonna be disappointed. So I feel like that's what he was trying to tell me. Do y'all agree? No? Nobody in here has gotten tit jobs. That's disappointing. You ever fuck a bigger girl in just a very impractical place, like a car or a couch that's a fourth of her length? Like, there's nothing wrong with her size. Her size is amazing. You love it, right? But it's like you're getting pranked on Impractical Jokers. It's like just what you're doing just doesn't make sense right here. But it's 2:00. It's 2:00 and I'm at Georgia State, so I guess I'll leave with something. How do y'all so who was it? Talked about some war earlier. I don't know, but I've been seeing a lot of GoPro footage of Ukraine on YouTube.
I already fucked with this joke. I said GoPro ads. I already fucked it up. I already gave you where I was going with the joke. And now when I actually get to the part where I'm saying GoPro should use Ukraine footage for ads, now it's not as exciting. I completely, the smallest word like that can ruin the whole setup of a joke, and I gotta be better.
Just kind of crazy because it's like you could there's no point in history where you could go on YouTube and see movie length war footage, right? And it's so gruesome, some of it's like uncensored. I don't know if y'all see it. It's pretty bad. Like they're chucking grenades. They're just hip firing. It's wild. It's wild shit. It's disgusting. But I think GoPro should definitely run ads with just footage of the Ukraine war. Cause think about it, it's perfect. Like you're watching we hate ads on YouTube, but you're sitting there, you're watching. It's this dude running. You're like, the fuck is this? And then a fucking artillery shell hits him. You're like, what the fuck? And then the GoPros just look at the durability of our cameras.
All right. So also one bad thing. Also, I will say the app. People rated like a 1.5. I haven't experienced as much problems with the app, but people say it's bad, so just on the lookout for that. Being transparent. But it does record for 5 minutes and then it loops. So
you're like, okay, I see where they're going with this. I saw one clip. It was from a dead soldier that was part of the medical team, and they were showing the path that they take them into like a dugout to treat the soldiers before they actually try to get them off the battlefield. And the soldier had died, but it like cut, and it was like 2 months later, and it was still recording. And it was like, can your iPhone do that? And I was like, no, we can't record for 2 months. No, that's valid. I like that one. Anyways.
And I talked about this before. When you acknowledge that the joke just didn't go well, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, yeah, all right, that didn't work. I feel bad about saying what I just said, but okay. It is what it is.
If you'd like to follow me and support me, or, chastise and report me for anything I've said today, you can do so at _brown.humor, right on cue. Give it for your host and the next comment, please.
Give it over Mary and make this dainty, everyone.
So, yeah, I'd rate that clip probably like a 4. I would consider that a bomb. That last joke didn't go well over at all. Yeah, I gotta just remember the words I want to keep hidden from the audience. It's like, it's kind of like you're playing. I don't want to say charades, but it's like you're playing like a mystery room game with the audience. It's like, where am I taking this idea? And I had already inserted ad on accident, so I feel like when I got to describing the ad, some of the excitement around the twist of this joke is already kind of gone. I don't know if this would be considered like a boom mic moment from my book that Adam Bloomberg wrote about like just techniques with comedy, but I feel like that's a microphone moment. It's like, all right, you kind of already know where the joke is going, so you're taken out of it because you see the mic. Sorry, I didn't explain what that was. Basically, it's like in a movie, if you were to see the mic, it takes you out of it because you're reminded that this is a movie and not people like actually investing time and energy to convince you of this craft. So I feel like I definitely got to do better at inserting jokes at different places or different words at different places. But I want to look at a newer clip that did pretty well, I think, in my opinion. Let's see. Yeah, it was this one. So this is at Limerick Junction. At Limerick Junction, they have the show. I think each person gets like 15, 20 minutes. And then they have the lightning round open mic where everybody only gets 2 minutes. You get the light at 1 minute. So it's like you gotta come firing and just get the joke that you want to get off quickly and concise and hope you get laughs. But this is that clip.
Couple times. You ever get held hostage?
Actually, on stage right now is comic that I've met around named BC. He's really funny. He was on Kill Tony at I think he said their Nashville show, so look out for him whenever that episode comes out. I don't know if it is out already or not, but yeah, he's really funny.
Rehab?
No.
It's not fun, I'll tell you that. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll just change up. Y'all ever look at fat people? Like, just start feeling...
I don't want to review his stuff, because I don't...
I have, that's why I have the right...
put his stuff out there, but...
I'm here, Rich. And y'all keep it going right now. For your next comic, come to stage. Y'all start clapping, make some noise. Get up the Martin!
And it is... I want you to know, I'm not nervous. That's not why the camera's so shaky. I am nervous. But that's not why the camera's so shaky. It's because I was wearing a very loose shirt, and I've realized you got to wear tighter clothes, or else the camera's going to, like, jostle around a lot. So that's kind of why it's shaking so much.
I got a new hobby. It's getting high and looking at people's decrepit fucking houses on Zillow. And I'm making fun of them, but at the same time, it's like, I'll never own a house in this economy. So, like, I don't know who, like, is this joke on me, or is it, I don't know. I'm high in my mother's house, so it's you know, I don't even own the house. That's actually my problem, because I like hitting on older women, but I gotta lie about my age. Like, I gotta tell them I'm older. And then they start to ask me questions that I'm not in the tax bracket to answer. They're like, what'd you get on your tax return? I'm like, I'm still a dependent with my mom. I don't know. I own an Xbox. That's about it. My car is not even, like, technically it's, like, stolen because my mom says I shouldn't drive past 12. I got, like, 7 minutes, so I'm gonna get off the stage in a minute, but, what else I have? Shit. The law says don't drink and drive. I say I'll stop when they catch me, because every time I've gotten pulled over since I've gone to college, I've been drunk. I feel like they're not doing their job. I feel like I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to give them a little something. There's something there. I'll work on it. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go drink and drive. So give it up for your host, Tamara. Woo!
Give it up for Marcus, everybody. Let him hear it. Don't worry, y'all. He's not drinking and driving because none of y'all.
I like just seeing myself go back to my seat. But yeah, that was much, quick. First few jokes, good response. I'd rate this like a 6 or a 7. The end, I kind of just wanted to throw out an idea and try it. It's definitely a joke I want to run a bit more. But those first few jokes, it's like, okay. You got them out quick. You got some laughs. That's what we want. That's the type of... This is a really good setting to try off like one perfect joke or 2 perfect jokes. Although those jokes were nowhere near being perfect. They're jokes that I've just developed a bit more. So I feel like I told them well. Or I told them... Well does not mean perfect, by the way. Well just means good. I feel like I told them well, got them off. People laughed, people liked them. So I'd rate that clip about 6 or 7. Probably 6.5. But there's one more clip I want to look at. And I only want to look at this clip because I just realized I didn't send clips from my computer or from my phone to my computer to review separately. So we're just going to do all body cam footage for today. So this was at Buteco. Now they have two different Butecos. They have Buteco by Grant Park that is its own building, and they have open mics there on Saturday at 5. So if you want to be there, get there at like 4 to sign up for the list. Because everyone from 5 to 9 on Saturday goes to that mic basically immediately. So, but this is at Buteco at Southern Feed Store, which is like 2 buildings down from 5 to 9. So this is over at East Atlanta Village. But this shot is a bit more shaky, so sorry, but we'll get better at this.
Everyone give it up one more time for Yes. Awesome. You guys are still awake. That's good to know. All right. We're going to keep pushing. We're doing great on time. Thank you guys so much.
Now here you probably are seeing my heartbeat because the shakiness I'm saying, this boom, boom, boom. I thought you said my name a lot earlier.
How we doing?
Good.
Who's got a drink in them?
Me.
Who's drinking? Okay. Who's smoke?
Me.
Goddamn. Okay. So, edibles. I just want to make sure we're fucked up because I don't know if I'm gonna say something good or bad. So, if anything, I can just blame it on you're drunk. You're fucked up. You didn't. I didn't say that. You imagined that. You imagined all that, right? The law says no drinking and driving. I say I'll stop when they catch me because I feel like since I got to college, every time I've gotten pulled over, I've been fucked up. Like it's like I got pulled over a week ago, right? And it's not my fault. It's because when I got to college, I had to be a really good DDD, with like designated drunk driver. If y'all didn't, yeah, like it just happened.
So these two right here in the front, there's some later stuff they didn't find funny, but I try to like pick on them earlier and try to like get them like engaged and kind of like give me something to work with, but it doesn't really come into fruition. But yeah, there's probably 15, 20 people here, so it's decently good room.
The best car out of SUV, could fit a lot of drunk frat white boys in the trunk. It's just it's just what happens. But I'm gonna stop eventually. But I think they need to catch me first, because once I get that DUI, that's when life sets in. You know. Let me know if I'm an asshole though.
You're an asshole.
Thank you. Anytime I go to like the club or bar, like as they're patting me down, like right before they get to my legs, I always tell them I'm bricked. But no, how else am I gonna sneak my gun in? Like seriously, like I don't got nothing to hide it in. I can't I'm not gonna carry a bag, or a purse, or that probably work now, but can't.
That one hit a couple people late. Like the dude in the far left, right here in the blue shirt. I met him that night. His name's Tim. They hit that I'm not gonna carry a purse, but it probably worked now. Hit them a little bit later, but
I forgot where I was going with that. That was just a bad thing to say. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah.
Also the audio quality is actually pretty good, but it's the fact that I'm talking loud into a mic and then the mic's right here. I'm kind of peaking it a lot, so I'm sorry that it's not the best audio. But eventually, when we get money for a mic, it's all good. Also, this was the same day as Limerick. It was just earlier in the day, so that's why the start is basically not the same, but I did that drunk driving joke.
Y'all, do you ever just wake up and just realize y'all live freaky lives? I got molested by my couch 2 days ago, maybe 3.
So I stuttered here. We gotta work on the stuttering, because I don't sound confident in me saying that I got molested as a joke. So I don't think anyone got that. The way I want it to come off is my life is so freaky. I realized I got molested by my couch the other day. Like, as confident as I just said it there, that's how I want to say it on the stage. I just did not say it very confidently here. And I don't know. Did I recover? I don't know.
It was a weird experience, you know? Hear me out, right? Because I'm sitting on my couch, and my hair is, like, it's tied up now, but my hair has never been this long, right? So I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm slouching, so my hair is between my back and the couch, right? And I'm trying to reach for the remote, but I'm being lazy, and I just kind of, like, do, like, a lazy, like, forward lean, and my hair gets pulled because it's stuck between my back and the couch, and I sit there and I think, I'm like, is this how kinks get developed? Like, is it accidental or is it purposeful? Because I feel like now that I know, like, if I just leave my hair there and I do it 6 more times, I feel like I'm on the 7th I'll probably come. I don't know. I don't know if that's how it works though. Like, I feel like there has to be trauma involved. I feel like it can't be self-induced, right? No? I'm not getting consensus, but okay. I'll take your laughter as it's a good idea. Economy's bad, right? Economy's bad. Fucking tariffs. Fucking up my pre-order for the Switch 2. I don't like that. Games are $80.
Real quick, can you speak about the Switch 2 real quick? Because my roommate pre-ordered it today. I didn't get to pre-order it because I had to go fail a test. But not a drug test, like actual, like, academic test. But the way little things like that affects you is like, that's that privileged shit I'm talking about. Earlier, let's tie this back. Like, I didn't say this earlier, but one thing is, like, people don't want to fight for change. And it's like, we got it so good, I see why, but at the same time, it's like, don't you want to fight to keep it good? Like, I want to make sure we don't have stupid tariffs like this so I can get a Switch 2. But I want to do it for the goodness of the country, not even just for a personal need. It's like, dang, how will this affect just global stability? How will this affect trade? How will this, all these other stuff? It's like, come on, bro. At least let me get my Switch 2, please.
GTA 6 is gonna be like 100 or something. I don't like that, right? Economy is bad. We need to figure out a way to build some, like, wealth, like, in the community where, like, it's really like stay at home. It's built in America, and I think I got the perfect solution. Breast milk. Hear me out, right? Let's say PETA takes over the whole world.
Alright, and now we're going to work into the PETA joke. Oh my god. This hurts me to watch. Alright.
And they say no more animal cruelty, there's no more farms, we can't kill them, we can't milk them, no nothing. Right? I'm with that because I like animals. But I also like milk. How are we going to get around this? Breast milk. I feel like if we make a market for breast milk, that could save America. I'm gonna just let y'all just sit with that. If you know any like OnlyFans models that like they need some work now, get with me. I got a plan, you know?
Now, I'm not getting any laughs, but I'm getting chuckles. I'm getting chuckles at the idea of opening a breast milk market, which is enough for me to keep the joke. If this was dead silent, which you would really be able to feel, I probably would like throw the joke away. But the fact that I keep getting little chuckles at just picking at the thought tells me, okay, I just need, again, and this joke needs a punchline. This breast milk thing, it needs a punchline. And that's why I'm saying my game is weak there. Because it's like I have these thoughts and I can get them out and I can make people chuckle, but it's like past that, I don't know where I'm taking this. So I need to figure out my ending for that joke.
And we'll label them too, like we'll tell you, like, this is like white woman milk, this is black woman milk, you know? is Mexican. Like, it's not just, you're not just gonna be guessing. Cause I feel like they're gonna get racist about the milk eventually. Right? Like, they gonna get racist a little bit. Like, oh, blacks have fattier milk. We can't, I don't know. That's my impression of a native racist. What else do I have? I have nothing else. That's all I have. All right, I got one more idea. I have a bad habit. I like to bring girls to open mics as like first dates. And that's, yeah, she just made, yeah, not a good idea.
I wish I could, because you can zoom in on the camera, but I wish I could zoom in and get a better quality of her face. Holy crap, she was like, you take them to open mics? What's wrong with you? Which is a very bad idea, but we'll get into it.
But I keep doing it, right? I keep doing it.
Take an edible beforehand.
Huh?
Take an edible first.
That's what I did today. Take an edible, yeah, that's what
No, I mean before.
Nah. That's
And I thought of a good joke, and I was like, well, then I can't take out white women, because then if they don't like the date, they can say I drugged them. That's a follow-up joke that I thought of. I hate when I fail at crowd work, because it's like losing an argument, and then you're in the shower, and you're thinking about the argument still, and you're like, damn, I could have said this. Oh, I should have said this. That's how this is for me. I'm like, damn, I should have said this, but
where was I going with this? First dates, thank you. First dates, right? So
also, I love that I forget where I'm going with the joke. I ask, I'm like, where the fuck was I going with this? And then they're at least engaged enough to tell me my last thought, and so I can pick back up. I think that's a small dub. It's like, okay, I'm engaging people to at least listen to me. Because there's sometimes I'm hearing comedians talk, and it's like, it's a bad joke, or it's just a bad bit. And it's like, I'm not even engaged to where if you had a gun to my head and asked me what was the last thing you said, I'm like, I don't know.
I take him here. Bad idea. But let me tell you, it's a good idea. Because nothing tells me that you like me more than a second date after I told you I got chlamydia from a stud on the first date, okay? Nothing, I mean, I'm just saying, if I got a second date,
So I also messed with this joke. The joke is supposed to be, nothing tells me that you like me more than a second date after you saw me tell a joke about getting chlamydia from a stud on the first date. That's what I'm supposed to say. That's what I wrote down. So I typed up. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not what I said, but
they're good. I feel like. On that note, wrap up, people. No matter who, you're like, unless you're trying to have a kid, just wrap up, just be safe. Just throwing that out there. But yeah. Anyways, if you'd like to follow me or report me for anything that I've said, you can do so on Instagram at _brown.humor. I'm waiting for phones. Okay, anyways, that's it. Thank y'all for the time. Give it up for your host!
yeah, watching me tell bad jokes hurts, man. I'm glad I get to do this for other people's viewership. I'm not even gonna say enjoyment. I don't know if y'all are enjoying this or not. I haven't been doing it long enough to tell. But yeah, that hurt. That hurt a lot. But yeah, this is definitely something I want to continue doing, is having the footage of me. Probably something I'm gonna make, maybe a sub-segment of the pod. But yeah, I definitely think this will unlock more creativity when it comes to like clipping stuff, when it comes to, creating a show maybe. I don't know. Possibilities are endless with technology. But with that, we're gonna pivot. We're gonna go to our next section. We're actually gonna skip the regular film room with Coach A, because I definitely forgot the clips. But that's, you gotta work on the fly. So we're gonna switch pivot. But it's,
because we wear a lot of hats around here. I play at the brim line now. I don't know why I say that, because I don't wear a hat in this segment. I went too far. I don't wear a hat in this segment, but y'all know what it is. It's the OG What's Ruminating, where I write down some jokes or ideas that I've written down that I'm having problems writing more about, or I just want to spitball and dissect, because that is the point of this podcast, is dissecting our thoughts. So, with that being said, my computer is going to die soon, and I do need it for the last segment. So, before we get into that, we're gonna stop the screen recording. We're gonna close the computer for just a second, and we're gonna get into these ideas. Every episode, I do write more from my notes. I just kind of mark them, and then I write them down, and I add them. So these aren't like the ideas from the first episode, and eventually all those ideas are gonna get pushed out just because we're gonna do them. So yeah, let's get into this. And again, some of these ideas are, really not fleshed out things, and they're probably gonna ruin any chance I have at having a job in the corporate workspace, or they're just not gonna be funny. It's, no in between there. Okay. Dietary breast milk. I feel like we talk too much about breast milk. We don't keep talking about it, man. I'm convinced Oprah Winfrey, because there's the whole conspiracy that she drank baby blood to stay young and look good. I think it was just breast milk, bro. I think breast milk is the untapped in, forbidden, or fountain of youth. We just ain't tapped into it yet, but we get tapped in. I mean, think about it. You're a small, tiny little creature, and it makes you a big, strong man or woman. What you gotta do? You gotta suck on the titty. You gotta suck on it. Some animals, actually, I've seen this, lions, when they go hunting and they kill a gazelle or something, they literally have video documentation of they'll kill the animal and then they'll literally drink its milk. If they killed a female animal, whatever it may be, but they'll actually drink, not the big balls, but the smaller ones will drink from it. And I just think there's hidden possibilities in that. I think literally we should probably I don't see the problem with it. I don't see the problem with it. We eat animals. Some cultures eat tongue and intestines. I'm not with that. I think it's a little far for me, but I don't see why breast milk wouldn't be far. It's an animal. It's coming from a creature. It's real milk. It probably has a lot of nutrients. I don't know. I gotta look up the nutrients facts for breast milk to further convince y'all that we need to start a market for it to save the economy. But I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Seeing the jokes in it, yeah. It's an earlier one. Get this one. Never check a woman's hidden. Never check a woman's hidden. I don't know. I don't care if it's her Snapchat hidden. I don't care if it's her Twitter bookmarks. I don't care if it's the hidden that's on the iPhone photo gallery. Men do not check. Here's the one difference between men and women. Is women a lot of times, they want answer to things. They want a conclusion. They want a resolution. They want closure. They want closure on the topic. So they really want the answer to something. They don't want to acknowledge that they might not be able to deal with that answer. You know what I mean? They can't deal, they might not be able to deal with the fact of whatever information I'm about to get is just reality. Whereas guys, I think we acknowledge, I don't want to know. I don't want to fucking know. If I don't want to hear your whole story. That's some high school childish BS that we used to do, where it's we exchange stories, and so we have, some mutual understanding. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to hear them, because I know I don't have the heart to withstand them, right? Especially if you got a 10. If we're using the 1 to 30 scale, if you got anything above a 20, which if you're unfamiliar with the 1 to 30 scale, it's 1 to 10 is your ugly, right? But you got ranges of ugly, right? Because 1 to 10, because an 8, because a girl might be an 8 and a girl might be a 10, but it's like they're not that close in looks, but 8 and 10 sounds really close, so you span it out, you get, see, gas keep coming up. You got 1 to 30, so 1 to 10 is like your ugly. And then 11 to 20 is your mid, but there's different ranges of mid. So 15 is like, 15, because if you say a girl's a 5, you're really calling her ugly, but 15 is not saying you're ugly, it's just saying you're average looking, you look good. You don't got super crazy attractive supermodel features, and you're not choppy. You're just right in the middle. But then you got your 21 to 30. That's your prime. That's like your 10 range. What was the thought? I don't remember what. Oh yeah, don't go through a woman's head. So when you got a real 10, if you got anything above a 20, and you find out some whole shit about her, it changes your perspective on them. Most men, our wills are not strong enough to just ignore it. Just ain't. We like to preach equality, we like to talk about it, but in actuality, we don't practice it a lot. Whole stories from a guy are fun and playful, whole stories from a girl are like, disgusting. Should it be that way? No. Maybe it shouldn't. Maybe we should both be shamed. Maybe neither of us should be shamed for it, but I'm just telling you what it is. Guys, if you really like that girl, keep liking her and don't check her hidden, because you might not even see some shit that's like hoish. You might not even see like her fucking or like her or just nudes. Like you might just find like evidence. You might find you on there. You ever check the girl's hidden and you find you on there? You find your text. You find the girl's accounts that she's went through and searched and stopped because of you mentioning them or you following them. Makes you look at them differently. Just saying. I guess we're doing that one. I kind of did that on purpose, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, what we got here? See, I know these are old because I'm doing the jokes now. Telling bouncers I'm hard when they pat me down. I'm not gonna, we'll skip past that one. I've done this a handful of times, and it either gets ignored by the bouncers or they laugh, they chuckle because it's like, okay, dumb nigga. I'm just waiting to get pressed about it because I think it's just gonna make a better joke. It's gonna add more story, it's gonna add more plot. But yeah, it's just one of those times you gotta just like fuck with people, I guess. It's not hurting them. Yeah, let's get two more original ones, hopefully. I'm trying not to make this episode as long as the last one. The last one, it was like an hour 35. I'm trying to keep these at like an hour to an hour 15. I'm probably going over that. I'll edit a bit, but it is what it is. Hopefully y'all gonna watch it in due time. Alright. Slave pussy must have been the best pussy. I feel like I've talked about this before. I feel like I might have done a joke on the pod already about this, but I was looking into one of our presidents, just fun facts. And Thomas Jefferson, he had an enslaved woman that he had many kids with, that he freed some of them that lived into adulthood. And this was before, as far as I'm aware, this was before a lot of the abolitionist ideas started to get in, where it's like after a certain age, you have to free your slaves. There's a lot of things. There's another one. There's one that like basically completely stopped shipment of new slaves into America, but it didn't stop slavery in America, basically. So a lot of old plantation owners that were moving up north that, they didn't need their labor force anymore were selling it to kind of the extended South, which would be Bama, Mississippi, out to Texas. By the time, Civil War era comes. But this is before all that. This man was freeing his slaves. And I just think at a very at a time that it's very unacceptable to be creating mixed breeds, I think it's funny that he keep going back to the well. I'm just saying, I think pussy under turmoil is better than what we got here in America, which is a lot of first world pussy. I work at a car dealership, and I literally seen like immigrant families, so I work in the department that helps with shipment. So like sometimes we get third party companies that aren't from our dealership to drop off cars for us, and a lot of times they aren't immigrants. Shout out to them. But one thing I noticed is there's been like 2-3 times that it's a couple, and I'm noticing she's helping him unload. And I'm saying it's these double-decker trucks. It's not like one trailer, it's like 3 cars. It's 9 cars are taking off with them double-deckers. And she's holding the baby, and she's backing out these cars. These are company cars. She's backing out these cars like it's nothing. I'm like, that's that immigrant pussy, bro. That's that we gotta make it pussy. You know what I mean? That's that. And I'm not even talking about the vagina. Like, do y'all peep that? I'm not even talking about the vagina. I'm talking about the woman. The woman is just better when it's under turmoil. There's a quote. I was telling my mom this other day. There's a quote. It's good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. Wait, no, sorry. Good times. I already messed up. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. It's a loop. And I want to create one for women because they play a part in society, of course. And I think that quote was from a time that is a little bit distant, where men are holding the brunt of social change. And when I say bearing, I mean image-wise. Obviously, behind the scenes, everyone listens to their woman. But, yeah, we just don't live in that time anymore. So I'd love to create one, that type of loop, that societal loop, working in women. Let's get one more before we head out. One more for the road before we get to our last segment. I feel I'm scrunching up my face a little bit. Please don't ruin my job. Please don't ruin my job. Oh, this is a good one. Buying pussy in America is dumb. I don't remember which conversation sparked this, but I know I was talking to some coworkers and some friends about this. And I was just saying how I would only pay for sex in other countries because now the American currency, which is probably shitty now that I'm thinking about it, you go to like some places to try to, pay for some cutting, is probably a bit more money now. But in a lot of countries, our money is still worth a bit more than theirs. So if I'm going to a country, I don't speak the language. The language is now money. The language is now, I got 10 USD. That's 1,000 rupees. That, I don't know what that can get you. I don't even know where they use rupees. I'm just saying the stuff. But, that makes sense to me. But I'm in a country that I know the culture. I'm tapped into the culture. I'm tapped into the society. I'm a part of the society. Why would I pay for cunning? That just proves I don't got no game. That just proves that I have no confidence in my game to just go out and captivate a woman to have sex with, to court a woman, to if that's my goal, I'm saying, to court a woman to have sex with. I feel like that just proves I don't have no game. some cuck shit. If I think, how's that cuck shit? Because you're admitting other people got better skills than you, and you got to resort to cash in a place where you speak the language. It just don't make sense to me. I'm knocking everyone who pays for sex in their own native country. You're weird. You're weird. Yeah, man. If I ever get to the point where I'm paying for it, I think I'd probably start selling too. Like, I try to just balance it out. If I ever got that desperate, if I'm paying for cutting, I'm probably selling some dick too. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think about any of these ideas, jokes. Please leave a comment below, and, you know, open up conversations. That's all this is, man. We're opening up conversations. We're opening up doors. Last segment. We're going to end out on some good stuff. Because you know how I am with my quotes. I'm excited I am. I don't know if you can see my feet. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one quote. In our edition of Mr. Quotable. The quote, this is from me this time, that I came up with is, everybody wants to suck the teat. Nobody wants to suck the dick. Marcus, what are you saying? What are you talking about? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Everybody wants results. Everybody wants satisfaction. Everybody wants a payoff from the work that they put in. That is sucking from the teat. You suck from the teat, you get nutrients, you get life, you get that breast milk that we be talking about so much. You suck a dick, you don't get none but experience. You know? Assume, I'm to relate this to guys. I couldn't say nobody wants to eat pussy because it's like I do that for fun. Like I don't need anything back if I really want to drop head on you. But that's why I put suck the dick, because it's like, whoa, what are you talking about? But no one wants to just put in effort and they don't get that reciprocation of satisfaction of, I'm getting something out of this. And I think, I don't know, but I think you gotta just put in work sometimes, you know? When I play football, basically every workout you do, almost never you get satisfaction back from on the field, from that one workout. Your bench max almost never comes out on the field. Your squat max almost never comes off on the field. But all that different, all those different exercises and the efforts that you put in, the drills that you run, in practice, all that culminates in you being successful on the field. So you're not getting results where you want, when you want them, but you're gonna get the results eventually. And I think that's really big. I think it's like, okay, I'm just gonna work and I'm just gonna be a part of this thing. I'm gonna pause, suck the dick a little bit, pause. I'm gonna put in work, I'm gonna get the experience, and then when it's my turn to suck from the teat, I'm gonna get everything that I need out of it, you know? I guess this is a way to combat maybe ego and entitlement, because sometimes you feel like I'm entitled to this satisfaction, I'm entitled to this because I put the work in. But I think this goes back to the whole like equality thing. It's like, are we equal if we give everyone the job, or are we equal if we all get an opportunity to showcase maybe we might be right for the job? And I think that's kind of my mindset of when I was thinking about this quote. This is my own quote, so make sure to quote me. But yeah, man, everybody wants to suck the teat. Nobody wants to suck the dick, man. Sometimes you gotta. This is. I can't even bring myself to say something so absurd without saying pause behind it. This is crazy. I had one joke where I was like, you were like about to say something crazy, you gotta say pause before you say it. So niggas know you not moving like that. Like, I gotta say pause before I even start this. And then, boom. I gotta say it. And I gotta end it with a pause. It's like you gotta quote the pause. Like it's, but yeah, man. You gotta put in work sometimes. You're not gonna see the satisfaction immediately, but it's gonna pay off. You get the right pieces around you. You get the right people around you, and I think hard work does pay off eventually. So, yeah. With that said, go out into the world, be miscreants, spread love, spread hate, spread something. Don't spread a STD. Unless it's like a misdemeanor one. If you want to spread like chlamydia or some like real tame stuff, you shouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, if you want to live a little, go live it. If you want to catch that, ain't nothing but 2 weeks on an antibiotic and you be back to work. You could take it at work actually. But yeah, man. I hope we've had good conversations today. I hope I've opened the floor for it. I hope to have better conversations in the future. With that being said, I'm your host, Marcus Astley. This has been Ruminations. Be good, be great, be awesome. Peace.